Five, four, three, two, one. Welcome back to the Fever Pitch Podcast. I'm your co-host Brian.
Yeah, how you doing?
Doing good. We got a great weekend ahead of us. It's America's weekend, the people's weekend, African Cup of Nations weekend. You know,
Well, you already know.
you know what I'm saying? 3 p.m. on Sunday, African Cup of Nations, Nigeria versus Cote d'Ivoire. I know I butchered that, but Ivory Coast, shout out all the Yaya Toure fans out there.
Yeah, Tori.
You know what I'm saying? But we'll be covering that later. Let's really talk about Super Bowl Sunday. And the big thing with Super Bowl Sunday, which is bigger than the game, is the amount of bets, the amount of predictions that you can make, right? The amount of different things that you can bet on. You know what I found out, Dan?
Shoot.
You can bet on anything from the score. Okay, Gatorade, color, predictable. National anthem song length. Okay, it gets more interesting. You can bet on the first words that Usher says during the halftime performance, right? So you're essentially betting on the song and then the word.
There's a market for this?
Yes. You can bet on how many times Taylor Swift is shown. Let me see how much crazier does it get? Oh, you can live bet, which is like you're cracked out if you're doing that. That's very
Yeah,
dangerous.
yeah. It's very fiendish. It's very fiendish.
If you're live betting, you're a very interesting guy. What else can you bet on? Oh, because Reba McEntire will be singing the U.S. national anthem.
Oh, Reba. I know Reba.
Oh, Reba, yeah.
Yeah. She used to have a show.
You can bet on if she will forget or omit a word from the national anthem. How many scoring drives will take less than time than it takes to sing the national anthem?
Hey, yo.
What else? What's another interesting one? Yeah. But yeah, what are your thoughts? I knew that the Super Bowl was like the biggest, like it's one of the biggest times to gamble, right? To sports bet, but I didn't realize how big it was. Like, do you know like how much money typically gets bet during the Super Bowl?
I'm sure there's a range. If I had to like ballpark it,
Yeah, like what do you think?
anywhere from like 15 to 30 million. But let me see if I can get like, some official tissue for you.
Yeah.
Um, typical typical bets, typical money play, typical bets placed during Super Bowl. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I think it's crazy too because more states are legalizing, so Vegas is just collecting more and more and more.
Honestly, it'll probably be a record-breaking year.
I,
Honestly.
if I had to bet, if that,
And it's in Vegas. If they
I
let
had
the
to bet
players
on it.
bet, if they
Mhm.
let the players bet, I promise you it would be something dangerous going on there in Vegas.
I would advocate people to be financially cautious and don't make decisions that jeopardize your livelihood.
Absolutely. But while you're looking for that, you were telling me something pre-pod about Mattress Mac for the Super Bowl.
Mhm.
What did you find out?
So, for those of you that don't know, Righteous Knock is a long-time gambler who is from Texas, and due to the point spreads, he says he's not going to place a bet this year. But he says that he thinks the Chiefs are going to win.
Okay. So what do you think about that? Because Mattress Mac has made some crazy bets in the past, anywhere from
Oh,
the
yeah.
range of like 60 to 70 million, some 15, $20 million bet. He bet on the Houston Astros before. I know he's a big baseball betting guy.
Yeah. He's a homer, so I think he plants this flag in the Houston franchises. Um, just to just to get you up to speed, during the Bucks Chiefs Super Bowl, he placed $2.5 million. No, he won $2.5 million betting on Tampa Bay.
Hmm.
And then he doubled down. He doubled down on the Bengals when they played the Rams, and essentially lost $10 million. So, hey man, I don't know. Hey man, hustle, I guess. I don't know how else to put it, but
When when you get to his age, right? Do you feel like you need to kind of bet these large amounts just to like feel something in life?
maybe I was thinking that is like it's just to feel something.
Yeah, just so he can have something to enjoy about the game because
Yeah,
he's probably seen every single Super Bowl,
that part.
you know. But all in all, I think the Super Bowl will be great. Do you have any score predictions or who are you taking?
I have Kansas City 34-17. Uh, yeah, I feel like that defense is really gonna show itself this year and well this weekend. And I feel like they're gonna run away with it. They're gonna get Casey's gonna get extra possessions and extra possessions means extra points. No pun intended.
Hmm. Hey, yo,
What's up?
34-17. I got San Francisco. I think it's going to be close, 27-24.
Okay, that's not bad either.
And then I was looking, right? Because we'd mentioned how much money gets spent on the Super Bowl. They're saying they're anticipating upwards of $24 billion to be bet on this year's Super Bowl. Last year it was 16 billion.
24 billion with a B.
Big billion. Yeah. Shout out Vegas. Big money market.
It's half the NBA right there.
Yeah.
On one game. Hey
Mhm.
man,
I mean, look at how many different things there are to bet on any given thing. You probably got hundreds of millions on the money line itself.
that's a fact. They probably got prop bets about commercials, knowing these sports books.
Exactly.
Hey, best of luck to y'all.
Yeah. And the funniest thing is the bets that are made on bets. Because think about how many people in the past years have bet on whether Mattress Mac wins his bet.
Hmm.
You know,
It's a very interesting. It's an interesting market, and I, hey man, Vegas. That's all I can say is Vegas, man.
absolutely, absolutely. Talk to me about Saquon Barkley, though.
He might be on his way to Vegas, and I say that because he signed that 1 year deal. He was trying to get a long-term deal with the Giants. He
Yeah.
didn't.
Hmm.
So he was on a 1 year contract that ended this year, and now he's a free agent again. As y'all know, we covered this over the summer. The running back market is very bad. Very, very bad. Getting a long-term deal as a running back doesn't happen often.
Hmm.
Even Jonathan Taylor, who's I don't know if we covered this, but Jonathan Taylor signed his extension during the season. He demanded a trade. He was at odds with the Colts, but eventually they kissed and made up and gave him his money. So now we got Saquon, who just finished that 1 year extension, and it's looking like he'll be playing elsewhere next year.
Mm.
Um, they said that the Giants are not going to franchise tag him again, and then he's probably going to take his talents elsewhere when he hits the free agency market. He had a good year though, over 1,200 yards and 10 total TDs, and some potential suitors include the Ravens, in addition to the Bears, Bengals, Cowboys, Texans, and Vikings.
Here at the Ravens, we would love to have you over here, Saquon Barkley. In my opinion, take the pay cut. You know, sign a nice little 2 year, 12 million, 6 million type deal. You know,
six, six, I don't know if you can get that. I don't know if you will at all. 6 M's?
all right.
Might as well get back
Okay,
up.
what do you think he's going for right now? What's the floor?
I would say the floor is maybe like 9.5, 10 average.
Okay.
I have 10. His market value is looking like, yeah, around there, 9.9. So like a 3 year, $29 million extension. If you base it off of what JT, Aaron Jones, James Conner, and Miles Sanders got, you're looking at anywhere between 9.9 annually or 9.7 annually. I think that's what he's looking for, anywhere from 9 to 11 million. So
Well,
hopefully,
I doubt he'll get that from the Ravens, if I'm being honest with you.
yeah.
You gotta look at the running backs that we already have. We have Gus Edwards, and the QBs that we have on IR are supposed to be fantastic.
I think y'all should let J.K. Dobbins be a family man. He doesn't need incentive. He doesn't need
I
those
think
reps anymore.
I think J.K. Dobbins is gonna come back. I don't know if he'll come back to the Ravens, but I think he'll be back next season. It's just unfortunate he keeps getting hurt. Because I know he's supposed to be one of the all-time. He has that potential, but with
Yeah,
each injury, his ceiling kind of lowers.
yeah. To tear your ACL and then your Achilles shortly after. I mean, Clay Johnson came back from it, but that's basketball.
Yeah,
I don't know how much success JK would have doing that in football.
yeah. As a running back, leg injuries in general, it's one thing if you get like a shoulder injury, like, oh, I tore my rotator cuff on a hit or like something like that. But leg injuries, it's like, oh, your legs are your money makers. These are why you're getting paid. It's in the name, running back. So,
Yeah.
but
And
all in
before,
all,
Mhm.
when you look at these teams, what do you think is his most likely landing place?
I saw that Houston Texans potential landing spot, and my eyes lit up because Dameon Pierce, he's been relegated to kick returner. I don't even know if he's the RB1 in Houston anymore.
Mhm.
And Devin Singletary, the second coming of Alfred Morris, I don't know if he's the long term solution there. So Barney they draft a guy. That'll be a nice little spot.
I do think so too. And rookie quarterback, so they're kind of price controlled right now. Um, I'm reading here, Bleacher Report saying that the Houston Texans is a GM's dream. So I wouldn't be surprised if they make a lot of moves in this offseason in general. And getting a running back would definitely be one because Damian Pierce and Devin Singletary, don't get me wrong, great running backs, but they're not big names,
Right,
right?
right,
And if you're really trying to build up that Texans brand after you just got the masseuse out of there, you're gonna want somebody to carry the rock because that's where they really struggled. Closer to the end of the season is running the ball. They have the
right.
firepower with Nico Collins out there to catch the ball and other guy.
Ain't that whoa, don't do that. Hey man, shout out
Tank Dell.
Tank Dell, yo.
Tank Dell.
Shout out to Tank Dell.
I'm bad with names. I'm bad with names. Nico Collins just came to my name first, but Tank Dell got injured, so that's why I couldn't remember.
That's
So
fair, that's fair.
it's not an indictment on him. It's just my bad memory. You know.
Oh, good.
But you you're about to say something overall about the running back market. Do you think that the running back market is improving? Because to me, I feel like it's getting better from here.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor got like 14 million a year. So that next crop of running backs, that would be like let me see, who's good and young. Like I mean Bijan probably. I know he's a rookie, but Bijan about a year 4 or 5. Tony Pollard maybe.
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah.
Am I tripping? I don't know why I thought Bijan Robinson was a tight end.
No, he's a running back.
Oh, I'm tripping. Oh, I'm thinking of somebody else. Yeah, you're very correct.
I was trying to think, Brian Robinson. I think he's ended he's on the last year of his rookie deal, I think, or maybe he has one more. So at that crop, the 2021 class and onward, they're probably gonna see a decent payday in the future.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. Especially if they improve from here, that's crazy. And I know we say this like every few podcasts, but Bijan Robinson was born in 2002.
Doesn't surprise me anymore, man. LeBron's son is about to go to the league.
We're old, Dad.
Yeah.
We're,
Shout out.
we're the aging population. That's not crazy to you?
No, I've been listen, man. They've been calling me 35 since I was 13. So It's nothing.
That's fair. That's fair. All right, but talk to me about Killian Hayes. We're talking about free agent.
Oh man. Oh man, oh man, oh man. So the NBA, I don't know what's up with these lottery picks, but what the hit or miss ratio is like very, very skewed in the negative.
Mm,
Um, especially if you come from overseas. Killian Hayes was a young French point guard drafted seventh overall in 2020. He played in overseas for about 34 years before being drafted by the Pistons. And if you look at his vitals, 6'5" point guard, 195, you would think very solid. And granted, I think he's okay. I feel like if you put for the Pistons, your ceiling is already capped, so you gotta make the best of it. He averaged around 8 points, 5 assists as a point guard there. Mind you, they drafted another point guard the following year, Kate Cunningham, number one overall. After you just drafted another point guard the year before. So I'm like, all right, Detroit. I don't know what the plan was, but obviously something got crossed on the wires. Regardless, he is now playing for nobody because he was waived during this trade deadline. So I hope his future gets better because I think he's still capable, but it's looking very Dante Exum-ish.
mm.
Dante Exum was also a lottery pick, French point guard that didn't really pan out. He made a slight comeback. I think he's rostered right now with the Mavericks. While Kyrie was shelved, he was playing alongside Luka, and he looked very serviceable. But for to be a top 5 draft pick to like I mean he's been in the league for a while, but if he, as a top 5 draft pick, I don't know if he's held to that standard. And pardon me, he's Australian. Killian Hayes is French.
He's,
French.
he's Australian.
Yeah, Dante Exum is Australian. Killian Hayes is French.
Okay. I mean, he'll definitely end up on a team. He's a young guy, and when your whole resume is the Pistons, is it really on you or is it on the franchise? Right,
Right.
Pistons,
But
obviously.
right, especially when you take Kate Cunningham a year later. It's like, what am I here for?
Hmm. Oh wait, he was born in America, but then he moved to France.
Yeah.
Interesting. Huh. Interesting. All right, but let's talk about some of these coaches. What's been going on in the NFL coaches arena?
So Brian Johnson, former offensive coordinator for the Eagles, scapegoat for the Eagles because man, oh man, he took a lot of flack trying to take over for Shane Steichen, who's now coaching in Indianapolis. But
Mhm.
regardless, Brian Johnson is now on the staff of the Washington Commanders. His role is to be determined.
Wait, you can
But
just hire a coach? Like,
yeah, because I mean they haven't reported what he's doing, but he's there.
huh.
They call it a prominent role.
A prominent role. So they already have an OC and a DC though, right?
They got Cliff Kingsbury is the OC, and I believe Joe Wood is a DC.
Okay.
Joe Wood Jr.
This is an interesting move. Maybe assistant head coach or something like that, or
Potentially, you know what? That's a good one because Bieniemy's gone, so he could be taking that assistant head coach position.
mhm, maybe potentially. This is an interesting move
Yeah.
because I know sometimes like especially with in the NFL for coaching, they'll kind of just invent jobs.
No, I'm saying, bro, it's like, oh, defensive analyst, secondary, primary, slot corner, tackle, coaching coordinator. I'm like, all right, dog. It's like that is his
Offensive flow coach.
yeah. It's like all right, run the game, short yardage run game, long yardage. Like it's almost as them crazy stats. It's like yeah, Steven Sanders is the first running back with like half an ankle to run 20 yards in the snow. I'm like, who's tracking this?
On a Wednesday,
On a
specifically on a
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
I'm like, all right, dog. So salute. It's like, you know what's crazy? I want to be in charge of something like that, but it's like, why do you keep this information? And where do you keep this information?
Oh, but those are some interesting stats. You know, those are really cold stats. They're more interesting, fun stats,
Fun stats. That's fair. That's
fun
fair.
stats. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, let's keep it in the NFC. What is this? East? NFC East?
Sir.
Yeah. Let's. What else is going on in the NFC East?
Oh, so we got Mike Zimmer, former. He had a role at Jackson State with Coach Prime, but he's primarily known as a former head coach for the Vikings. He's agreed to be the new DC in Dallas, taking over for Dan Quinn. Um, I think he made his bones as a DC in Atlanta and Cincy, and he also was a long-time defensive coordinator for Dallas from 2000 to 2006. Prior to that, he was a DB coach and then also had an assistant role. So him and Jerry Jones are very familiar with one another. He was a staffer on that Cowboys team that won the Super Bowl, Super Bowl 30 to be specific. And honestly, he doesn't have that bad of a head coaching record. 72, 56, and 1. So I think it's a pretty solid hire. I feel like sometimes Mike Zimmer gets a lot of flack because they think he's trash, but he's had one, two, three, four, five, four winning seasons and one 500 season and two seasons below 500 by one game. He's 2-3 in the playoffs.
Hmm. So not bad. Just a slightly some stats above 500, some stats slightly below 500. So, you know, it's teetering type of thing, but
Yeah,
more so sounds like needs more of a sample size type of coach.
that part.
Right.
Looking at his rankings as a coordinator, his defenses have finished. Let's see. Dallas has had not bad, not bad. He's had some terrible seasons, like towards the tail end, like in the late, like 2019, 2020, 2021. That
Hmm.
Vikings defense was awful. But prior to that, in the mid 2010s, they weren't too bad.
Hmm.
And prior to that, also in Dallas in the early 2000s, they were half decent as well. So I think it's a pretty good hire. Michael Parsons, Deron Bland, Trayvon Diggs, and others. So there's a unit there, and I think he can, without no pun intended, coordinate accordingly.
It should be interesting. I know Cowboys fans, Mike Zimmer was on their list for defensive coordinators among Mike Vrabel, Bill
Right,
Belichick, and some other names. So I know that most fans are pretty happy with this hire. Um, I think they're just happy that they didn't get Ron Rivera of all people. So
that part.
yeah. So shout out the Cowboys. Hopefully the defense is looking good and the secondary doesn't look suspect during the playoffs. But to add on to the Cowboys, what's his name? Lawrence. Is it Demarcus Lawrence?
Because yeah,
Demarcus Lawrence was on ESPN and he was saying that the Cowboys were tired and just burnt out, which is why they played the way they did in the playoffs. But um the Cowboys rested their starters in the fourth quarter for 9 out of 17 games. What do you think about that?
well, I think it's something that happens when you're up. It's not compulsory though. You don't have to do it. And then don't use it as an excuse when you get built to behind in the wild card round. So I feel like he's trying to get some bail, and nah, homie, you just lost. Salute, I guess. Y'all are regular season merchants. And y'all, when it's December and January, y'all forget how to play football. And that's exactly what happened.
That's fair. That is a fair assessment. All right, talk to me about Oh, I guess we still in the NFC East with this. Let's talk about the Giants.
All right, so Don Martindale, Wink Martindale, y'all former DC. He took a role with the Giants to be their DC for a little bit. Didn't pan out.
Hmm.
He's hitched his wagon elsewhere,
Mm,
and to fulfill those defensive coordinator responsibilities, the Giants have brought in Shane Bowen.
mm,
Shane Bowen previously had a cup of coffee in a few places. Ideally, Tennessee as a defensive coordinator from 2021 and 2023, his most recent position. Prior to that, he was an outside linebackers coach, and then he was a defensive assistant for Houston. And then he had a couple of cups of coffee in college for Georgia Tech, Ohio State, and Kennesaw State, located in Georgia.
mm.
Yeah, Georgia.
Yep. So, what do you think about this hire overall?
I think he's young, 37. So I feel like we're just getting to that point where like coordinators are getting a little younger. They're getting the experience faster, and then they're getting promoted faster.
Mhm.
And I think the Giants made a lot of moves leading up to this regular season. They traded for Isaiah Simmons. They drafted Deontay Banks, go Terps. They also got, I think his name is BJ Ojulari. So they, and obviously Kayvon Thibodeau as well. So that defense is solid. They look good. And I think Don Martindale just wasn't really gelling with those pieces. But I think Shane Bowen has the has enough cachet to potentially get them where they need to go. Like I said, I had the Giants as a sleeper team last year, and I don't have them as a sleeper team again this year, but I feel like they can be.
Mhm.
I mean, next year, pardon me. But I feel like they can be.
Yeah, I think all in all, like when I look at things, I think that it's nice to see that kind of kind of the younger faces are kind of elevating to those more senior roles of defensive coordinator, offensive coordinator, and we're even seeing some head coaches now with Mike McDonald taking that step up. Uh,
Right.
so all in all, salute, man. It looks like it's been kind of a lot of migration, especially for the NFC East. So, your favorite division of football.
Sure. Sure.
All right. But I got some hot takes for you. But actually, you got the first hot take, actually.
Oh yeah. So like I've been holding this for a while, and I was like, when are we gonna talk about this? And I was
Mhm.
like, yes, it is the day. The Milwaukee Bucks of the NBA, the National Basketball Association, they're going to be a first round exit.
Mm.
They're going to make the playoffs and lose in 6 games.
Mm.
I just hope y'all know that.
Why do you think that?
So they just like bad coaches for some reason. Like they hired Mike Budenholzer. They won the championship with Mike Budenholzer, which I didn't think was gonna happen. They came back from being now 0-2 and won four straight in the finals. Salute. Giannis, you proved me wrong. You stayed in Milwaukee and won the ring. I didn't think you were gonna do that. I thought you should have went to Miami or Denver, who ended up going to the finals a few years later. So I was half right. Regardless, Giannis did his thing. Salute, salute, salute.
Mhm.
And then the following year, first round exit to Miami. Okay, it's a championship hangover. Cool, whatever. I think the year after that, we lose to Miami again. The Heat end up going to the finals. So you get rid of Coach Bud, cool, and you hire what's my guy, Adrian Griffin. I didn't know much about Adrian Griffin. I think he was in Toronto for a little bit under Dwayne Casey. So capable. You trade for Dame. You got a good roster.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure they're the first seed in the East, and they let Griffin go. Why you ask? I don't
Yeah.
know.
Why? No, there's
I
no
don't
reason.
really know. But what I've heard was Adrian Griffin was like, trying to get his sea legs. I think this is his first eight. Um head coaching role. So he reached out under the advising of the Bucks. He reached out to a former coach to get some insight on, the X's and O's. That former coach was Glenn Rivers. You know him as Doc Rivers.
Okay.
Um, that news really, that news really shook me because I think Doc Rivers is an awful coach. And look at that, the Bucks lost again today by 16. No, by 24 to
Oh,
breaking news. So, yeah, I think pardon me, I think Glenn Rivers is terrible. Um, it
you
took
calling him Glenn Rivers is geeking me. I'm
yes,
not gonna lie to
that's
you,
his
man.
name. His name is Glenn. If you look at his resume, the players he has coached, you would think he would have at least 2 or 3 rings. He only has one because Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, Paul Pierce, and Rajon Rondo. It's hard to mess things up when you have that unit. But he's coached the likes of Tracy McGrady, Hall of Famer, Tim Duncan. No, pardon me. He could have got Tim Duncan. That trade fell through. But he had Grant Hill, Hall of Famer, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Joel Embiid, James Harden, amongst others, have all been coached by Mr. Rivers, and amassed a whole bunch of second round exits, first round exits, blown leads, etc. But somehow this cockroach keeps getting jobs. I don't understand. But hey,
So when it comes to the head coach position, like when you look at the results in the playoffs, is that ultimately a result of coaching or is it a result of the players?
if
Because
every
I feel like in football, like a lot of onus is put on the coaches, but in basketball, is it the same type of atmosphere?
if every car I drive blows up in a year, there's something wrong with me. I'm like, dang, I was like, dang, flat tire again? Another flat tire? All
Is
right, now,
it's like,
now,
are you getting random flats or are you hitting the curb every time you drive?
yeah, like, dang, I'm getting another oil leak. Yo, that's like the fifth car I've driven. Why does that keep happening? Maybe you are trash.
Okay. So hold on, right? Because Doc Rivers he's done a few things, right? He gave us Austin Rivers, who has arguably the best high school mixtape for a basketball player out there.
No, I mean it's good, but have you seen Zion Williamson?
Okay, of that era. The Austin Rivers high school mixtape was a classic.
It was. It
Right.
was. And he hit that game when he was at Duke. He's nice.
Right. And then when you think about Doc Rivers, most of his career with as a coach was with the Clippers.
Yeah. He got traded to the Clippers as a coach.
Wait, what? I actually
Yes.
didn't know that.
Yes. He was dealt to the Clippers in a trade
But wait, from who to where?
from Boston to LA. He got traded there.
He was the head coach of. Oh, because you did say, because I was like, wait, Rajon Rondo,
Yeah. The
Paul
big three
Pierce.
Celtics, he was the coach.
So they traded him and then they won a ring.
No. They won a ring with him.
Oh,
And
so
then he got traded.
so he has rings.
Well, a ring.
But so then that begs the question: is it the players or is it the coach?
Glenn Rivers reminds me of Matt Nagy, right?
Mm,
Matt Nagy is currently the offensive coordinator for the Kansas City Chiefs. Matt Nagy sucks, but guess who his head coach is?
Andy
Andy
Reid.
Reid,
Yeah.
offensive genius. So if I have Andy Reid there, all I gotta do is sit on my hands and just let Andy cook. And where are the Chiefs now in the Super
Well,
Bowl?
yeah, Super Bowl.
Glenn said, "All right, I got KG, basketball, basketball savant. Got Rajon Rondo, basketball savant. Got Ray Allen, basketball savant. You got Paul Pierce, basketball savant. You got Kendrick Perkins, who Kendrick Perkins knows ball very well. And that second unit, Leon Poe, Eddie House, etc., deep. I don't really gotta do too much.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think this is gonna fail. They went to two finals. They won one. Lost to Kobe in game 7. Interesting. I'm pretty sure they had to lead in that finals too. Interesting. But anyway, he was deemed one of the 15 greatest coaches in NBA history, I guess.
Doc Rivers?
Yeah, according to when the NBA did their top 75, Glenn Rivers was amongst the 15 greatest coaches in NBA history. To that I say why, but it's cool.
Mm.
Overall win percentage 58.5, which isn't bad.
Oh,
One
that's
ring,
good.
yeah, it's not bad. One ring and one coach of the year recognition, but trash. I'm sorry, not sorry.
So what do you think about the argument that post Clippers he's only had players outside of his prime, outside of their prime? What do you think about that?
Joel Embiid won the MVP, and
No,
y'all
but
lost.
look at the supporting cast. You had Harden.
Joel Embiid won the MVP,
Okay,
and
but what about Harden?
Joel Embiid won the MVP, most valuable player. You were coaching him, and y'all lost in the second round.
That's true.
Oh, and this dirtbag, I forgot. So Adrian Griffin would have been the All-Star game head coach, but since he got fired, guess who's coaching the All-Star game?
Who?
Mr. Rivers. Who's
So
like,
wait,
who's like, oh, he said, "Oh, I don't want to coach. I'm gonna give that to Adrian Griffin." This one is goofy because you know you need a bonus for a coach in the All Star game.
hmm, I didn't know that.
He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna give that bonus to Adrian Griffin." Man,
So wait, with Doc Rivers, right? When you look at it in the totality, if he's a top 15 coach, why is he so regarded as trash to you? Yeah, he hasn't had a lot of success with like these younger teams and other teams, but what was like the big thing that made you start thinking that Doc Rivers wasn't a good coach?
all right, one second. Before I get there, he denied the rumors that he was consulting Adrian Griffin before his firing. So if that, so I'm gonna say allegedly because I don't think I said that during my rant.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that I said about the consulting is a legend. I'm not trying to defame nobody, but if it's true, you are foul. Um,
Because to mentor and then take the job is crazy.
yeah, but you asked me. Can you ask your question again? My fault.
Um, I think it was I was asking what led you to start believing Doc Rivers was trash?
All right, I got you. I got you. I believe he was coaching the Clippers
Mm-hmm.
because he went to two finals with Boston. He won one.
Yeah.
So he was coaching the Clippers. I think this year they won like 20 something games in a row, like during the regular season.
Mm-hmm.
And they're playing Houston in the playoffs. So this is it, 2014, 2015. And they blew that lead. They got walked down by the Rockets in 7 games when they should have won that series. And if you ask me, they low key could have knocked off the Warriors. They would have had a Clippers Cavs finals, in my opinion. And Mr. Rivers just forgot how to coach
Mm-hmm.
like he usually does. And they blew that lead, and the Rockets ended up going to the conference finals. So once that happened, I was like, huh, this is a good team. How did this happen? Why did this happen? And then the dominoes began to fall. For that following year, the following 2 years, two first round exits. So I was like, oh, okay. The year after that, it's the playoffs. The year after that, first round exit. The year after that was the bubble, blew a 3-1 lead. and then he went to Philly. Can't make it past the second round for 3 years straight. Is that a good coach?
You're I'm not gonna say he's a bad coach because he has a ring. Right. But I see what you're saying. There's a trend of not being able to do what you need to do. So wait, he hasn't been to a conference finals in a long time?
Since 2011, since 2012, he's made his bones in the second round.
12
He
years, no conference championship appearances
he he gets past the first round and starts looking like at Cancun fights on Spirit.
on Spirit is crazy. Um, so I reached out to some Bucks fans to ask them what they thought of his hiring because, as you know, during the recent like road trip stint, they were like 1-4 or something like that.
Yep.
And a lot of fans were giving him the benefit of the doubt and saying it's early. One fan was like, "This man is washed. He's old. Look at the way he stands. This man is going to need a walker soon. He has no business coaching um, NBA football." So I can't say that you're wrong with your hot take. Um, but the Bucks have a young core, and they also did just get a couple of players in this trade. What they got, Patrick Beverly.
During the trade deadline, yeah. You know what's crazy? We're gonna talk about the trade deadline in a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good trade, but it's just not. Usually gonna add another pit bull that Giannis isn't gonna have to hear yell at him. And I don't think Giannis does well with people yell. I think he likes docile coaches like Mike Budenholzer. And hey, I feel like it's a nice addition. I think Dame and Pat on the same team is funny because remember during the bubble when Patrick Beverly was a Clipper, and they had some words amongst each other during those matchups, and now they're teammates. The, sometimes the enemy of your enemy
Is your
becomes your friend.
mm-hmm.
So, and during last season, Pat Bev was a Sixer, so he has some rapport with Coach Rivers as well. Believe he was on that Clipper team as well, but if not, to me, I know he's played for Rivers
Mm.
before.
Okay. So I got a hot take for you.
By the way,
This is this is nothing to do with the NBA. This is just another hot take. The
uh,
Bears will somehow find a way to not draft well this year.
they hold the 101 currently
Mm-hmm.
via Carolina. They
Mm-hmm.
also hold 109
Mm-hmm.
via themselves. They also hold I think they traded away their second rounder to the Commanders. But you got two of the top 10. And your team isn't bad on paper. Like you have pieces there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they traded away their second rounder. But
Mm-hmm.
they have a mid third
Mm-hmm.
and a two they two picks are all middle round. But you got two first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
And your team isn't really that bad on paper. I just think you gotta fix a few things. So if you whiff, I mean, you already have your wide receiver one. If you whiff, just keep Justin Fields
But what if they whiff and trade away Justin Field for more picks?
and then whiff again. Hey, salute, salute.
I heard Bears tickets were getting the prices were increasing by like 7 to 9% this year.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
Let me see. Also, I'm looking now that I had the whole draft order listed here. I'm trying to see. So the Packers got that Packers second round pick from
Mm-hmm.
the Jets is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. the ninth pick in the second round.
Mm.
I think it could have been worse had Aaron Rodgers met some playing stipulations, but that torn Achilles, man. The residual impact they had on Green Bay might be worse than what they had on the Jets.
Speaking of that trade, do you think that not I don't even think wait, was it a trade or was it free?
Yeah.
Yeah, trade. Do you think that the Green Bay won that trade?
No, because only because they spent the capital they got on a pass rusher, and I think let me look out who they ended up taking. I'm pretty sure they took like Lucas Van Ness. Yeah, they traded back two spots, so that's a lateral move. We didn't really do much there. And then I think it took Lucas Van Ness, who's looked solid. I think they had I think they had their next Clay Matthews there. So I take it back. They got something useful in Van Ness. I think they also got Luke Musgrave, who was looking like a stud. They may have won that trade actually. I take it back. They may have won that trade. Because Luke Musgrave, he didn't look too bad.
Mm-hmm.
And Anders Carlson, he kind of folded in that Niners game, but he's a young kicker that they use a 6 rounder on. So maybe they got some franchise pieces.
Okay, okay. So next hot take I have for you is the Super Bowl scoring will be led by tight ends on both sides.
I can see it. I can't wait for this thing to be over. Yeah, like
You said what?
I can't wait for like all this hysteria to just end.
Hysteria
I
about what?
um the one they call Travis Kelsey and
His
uh
his his, his
his brother.
potential bride if they
Yes.
if he proposes if they win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, yeah. I will not speak of her name because I hear her name enough. So if you want to do it, go for it.
Yeah. I mean, Taylor Swift, I mean, one of the prop bets is also how many times is Taylor Swift going to be shown on screen. Take the over.
Probably.
Take the
Um,
over. I don't know how many times, but take the over.
do you know
If it's under 7, take the over.
do, do you know research? But yeah. I'm focused on the game. I think George Kittle and Travis Kelsey are both very, very good at football.
Mm-hmm.
So you get them the ball, get things happen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're like Travis Kelsey getting anytime TD is a lot. It feels like one, but nah, I'm cool.
You
I'm
wouldn't put
cool.
your money on that?
Nope,
Mm,
because that's what they want you to do.
that is true.
So nah, I'm cool.
All right, I'm gonna pass it to you, Dan, with cold facts. Change the temperature for us.
All right, so let me get in my bag and no, because like I said, the trade deadline was today. The Knicks went shopping, yo.
Mm-hmm.
They did some things during this trade deadline, and I really like the future of the Knicks going forward. I saw inklings a couple of years ago, but I think they might be here. That boy Jalen Brunson is an animal. He's like that for real. So the Knicks haven't won a playoff series since 2013,
Mm,
and they haven't reached the Eastern Conference Finals since 2000.
mm.
But I think this year they do one or both of those things.
Okay. Yeah, the Knicks are looking nice. But them not whew, they haven't won a playoff series essentially the same amount of time as Doc Rivers hasn't been past the second round.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, what else you got?
Serge Ibaka and Red. So you know that OKC big three where KD, Rouse Harden went to the finals, lost to LeBron.
All MVPs now, right?
Yes, yes.
Mhm.
Um,
The greatest what if.
yes. Obviously, KD won his ring. So, and Derek Fisher and Kendrick Perkins were on that team, and they had a championship before. But outside of those three, Serge Ibaka and Reggie Jackson are the only other members from that team that have won the championship since they split up.
Did Ibaka get his ring with the Raptors?
Yes.
Okay, and then Reggie Jackson.
Wait, was it the Raptors or the Bucks? Because he played with both. I think
Oh,
it was the Raptors.
probably. What about Reggie Jackson?
He
Who do
was
you?
on that Nuggets team that just won.
Oh, okay, okay. So, do you think that the Clippers this year, who have both James Harden and Russell Westbrook, have a chance to win a ring?
I think the car will lose. I think the driver will lose control of the wheel at the pristine moment. I
Mm,
don't know when that is, but it's going to happen.
Well said, well said. All right, what else you got for us?
Okay, lastly, as of the start of the NBA regular season, since we're still talking about the Thunder, they potentially can have 15 first round picks over the course of the next 7 drafts through all the trades they've made.
Okay,
Anywhere from 9 to 15 over the next 7 years.
that's a roster.
Yes, of all first round picks. And then, pardon me, on top of that, they can have anywhere from 21 to 27 second round picks within that span.
Okay, what do you think is the plan here with all those picks? You can't draft all those players. You got to trade some of these away.
Yeah, get you a superstar at any given moment.
Mm,
Obviously the value of first round picks in the NBA is like kind of not tainted, but like compared to the NFL, our first round pick in the NBA is like, all right, that's like parsley nowadays. They're just
mm,
throwing them in there. So like I'm gonna take them. But you can literally get anybody you want when you feel like it. There
that's
were
true.
talks of the Thunder potentially being a reunion with not OKC with Kevin Durant down the line before we went to Phoenix. So
Mm,
I think that's out the window. But I feel like they have the ability to land anybody at any moment.
mhm.
Um,
I mean, if Katie has shown you anything, he has loyalty to no team.
that part. But if you look at who they drafted just over the course of the span, JD, Jeff Green, Russell Westbrook, Serge Ibaka, James Harden, Reggie Jackson, Steven Adams, Demontis Sabonis, Josh
Sab-
Giddey,
Sabonis is nice. So is
yeah,
Steven Adams.
yeah, Chet Holmgren,
Chet
and then
nice.
yeah, and then some of these recent guys, Jalen Williams and Case and Wallace, they look good. So Sam Presti knows how to use these picks. I
Mhm,
think he clears Danny Ainge in GM general managership. I
mhm.
think it's one major gap, and then Danny Ainge. Actually, no, one small gap, RC Buford, and then Danny Ainge at 3.
I mean,
RC,
Danny Ainge, I know that name.
yeah, because
He,
he used to play as well.
yeah, Danny Ainge, was he really that bad of a GM?
It wasn't bad, but I just think Sam Preston is that much better.
Hmm.
RC Buford is a very close is a closer second. But I think those are the top 3 in my opinion. RC Buford. Wait, he's a CEO. Who's the GM of the Spurs? Spurs, yeah.
Wait, but Ainge put
But
together, hold on. Danny Ainge put together the '07 Celtics. He made the trade for Kevin Garnett and Ray Allen. I can't agree with you there.
it's up for debate.
And that year he earned NBA Executive of the Year.
It's up for debate. It's
The
up for
NBA's best record that year was 16-6, and then that they formed that new big three. Yeah, Dan, I'm respectfully disagreeing with you here.
it's up for debate. It's up for debate. I think you know what? Because I was telling the homies about this all off mic. I think if OKC can get a chip, then Sam Presti might be the go. I think Bob Myers is right there too. He's currently like advisor to the Commanders, so he's dipping his feet into new waters. Parlaying with Magic Johnson and them. So I mean, yeah, it's interesting.
And hmm, he's a Utah Jazz CEO of basketball operations right now.
Oh, Danny Ainge.
Yeah.
Word, okay.
and he orchestrated the Mitchell Gobert trade and got Larry Markkinen, who got most improved 2022 to 2023. Dan, I'm striking down your statement. I can't agree with that at all.
I think it's a debate that can be had.
All right, fair. That's fair. All right. Let's talk to me about what else is going on in the NBA. We just had the trade deadline, right?
Yeah, and I mean we still have a scoring pandemic, but All-Star weekend is upon us. We talked about the events taking place, I believe. Oh, I actually caught wind of the celebrity game rosters.
Mhm.
We're gonna talk about that. I think the coaches are. I just pulled up. Mhm. Next Friday, the celebrity All-Star game. You have. Oh yeah, Stephen A. and Shannon Sharp. So we got the first take All-Star game.
Okay.
Yeah, Shannon Sharp has like a little coaching staff. It's him, 50 Cent, and Peyton Manning are the
Oh,
coaches.
okay.
And the roster consists of Anuel AA, who's a Latin artist, Kai Cenat, shout out to Kai Cenat,
Shout out Kai.
Carter Daly, I have no idea who you are, but I hope you can hoop. Walker Hayes, same thing. Quincy Isaiah, same thing. Jewel Lloyd, I believe, plays for the Seattle Storm in the WNBA.
Mhm.
Michael Parsons. We all know Michael Parsons.
Yeah.
Uh,
Michael Parsons a hooper.
yeah,
Okay.
Lily Singh, Sir from TDE, and Dylan Wayne.
Okay. What they got on the other side?
So Stephen A. Smith
Mhm.
has on his coaching staff. It's Stephen A. Smith, Lil Wayne, and Asia Wilson.
You see, they put some hot firepower behind Stephen A. Smith because when you say Stephen A. Smith, I'm like, Stephen A. Smith doesn't know ball. He's a he's the analyst. He doesn't know ball. But you
Oh,
got
he
Aja
can
Wilson.
play.
You got Aja Wilson, and Lil Wayne is I think he's a multiple celebrity game winner. Lil Wayne.
No, I don't know if he played. You're thinking about Kevin. You're thinking about Kevin Hart, but Lil Wayne hoops. Lil Wayne hoops. Oh yeah, Joel Lloyd, #1 overall pick in 2015, two-time WWE champion. Oh, she led the WWE in scoring this past year. Nice. Um. So yeah, Stephen A. Smith, Lil Wayne, and Aja Wilson are the coaches. You got Meta World Peace. Some may know him as Ron Artest, but he is Meta World Peace.
Shout out Ron. Malice at the Palace.
And then we need to overcome that and have a successful career with a ring, and
Yeah.
turn
Saying, but he got
turn
them hands. Don't play with him.
that part. You got Jack Ryan. I have no idea who you are, but I hope you can get buckets. You have my boy, the Almighty Seven, CJ Stroud. You got Gianmarco Tamberi. I have no idea who you are, but I hope you can get buckets. Oh, hold on. You got Adam Blackstone, Natasha Cloud, Jennifer Hudson.
Okay.
You got Tristan Jazz, aka T Jazz, rival hooper, trick shot specialist, and then you got AJ McQueen and Kwame Onwuachi. So I'm looking forward to it. I think this will be pretty good.
Which team do you think is going to win when you look at these two teams?
Let's see here. Um, I feel like Stephen A. Smith can coach basketball better than 50 Shannon and Payton. And you also have a WNBA superstar on your coaching staff. So that alone kind of gives I'm leaning towards Team Stephen A. But Micah Parsons and Jewel Lloyd, I feel like that's gonna be a little duo right there.
Listen, let me tell you something. Kai Cenat, he's sneaky. Watch out.
I've seen them. I've seen them who they're the script. Wow, the descriptions of these people were right here if I just scroll down. So yeah, AJ McLean, Walker Hayes, and Sawyer are artists that were Grammy nominated. Adam Blackstone is also a Grammy nominated musician. I don't know why they separated it. Lily Singh, Dylan Wayne, Quincy Isaiah are all actors. Castanat is Castanat. For those of you who don't know, he's a full-time streamer. Tristan Jazz is a basketball entertainer. Jack Ryan is an award. Oh wait, Tristan Jazz. No. Well, yeah, and Jack Ryan also is a basketball entertainer. James Beard is a award-winning. No, Kwame Unwachi is a James Beard award-winning chef. So very versatile group. And then you have a high jump champion, a Latin American recording artist who's participating in the second celebrity All Star game.
All
Oh,
right.
Pat McAfee will also be on the broadcast team.
Okay. All right. If you guys want to learn some more about the Celebrity All Star game, you know what I'm saying? Definitely check that out. I think it'll be an interesting game for sure. What else we got going on inside the NBA?
Talk about All Star weekend. Are they doing the Rising Stars challenge? Rising Stars. Let me see. Oh yeah, they are. Also on Friday, as it usually is. So we have the Rising Stars. So for those of you who don't know, initially it was rookies and sophomores. So the first year guys played against the second year guys. They've since migrated to the Rising Stars. So I think it's anywhere from like 1 to 3, maybe 4 years. And they have their roster here. Is they've done the World versus USA. They've done like coach level style, and they are going back to the coaching style with Team Pau. That's Pau Gasol versus Team Tamika Catchings, WNBA legend and a NBA legend respectively. So for Team Pau, you got 1B, Brandon Miller, Brandon Podziemski from Golden State, Jaime Jaquez from Jr. from Miami, Jabari Smith from Houston, Jason Wallace from OKC, Bilal Coulibaly from my Wizards, and then you have there's multiple Rising Stars rosters. For Team Tamika Catchings, you have Pablo Banchero, Jaden Ivey, June Durn from the Magic and Pistons, respectively. Keegan Murray from Sacramento, Keontae George from Utah, Dyson Daniels from New Orleans, and Scoot Henderson from Portland. Additionally, you got Team Jalen Rose, 5'5". On his roster, you have Chet Holmgren, Jalen Williams, both from OKC, Benedict Mathurin from in the Pacers. Shaden Sharp is injured, but he would have played for Team Rose. You got Derek Lively from the Mavs, Walker Kessler from the Jazz, Jordan Hawkinson from the Pelicans, DMV native, shut out. And then you had Jeremy Sohan, who's replacing Shaden Sharp from the Spurs. And Team Strength, you have a lot of overseas players I don't recognize.
Oh, the people can check out the rest of this All Star, you know what I'm saying, stuff on their own time. Let's make sure we get to everything else because I got to step soon.
I got you. Yeah, and then that's all really. I think we spoke about the dunk contest. There's not much there. I recommend y'all don't watch. Take a walk, do something else. Watch the 3-point shit though, because that'll be more entertaining. I promise you.
All right, bet. All right, talk to me about WrestleMania.
All right. For those of you who don't know, I am I indulge in wrestling. I think it's a very entertaining business, no pun intended. But recently, it's turned into they've really kind of hammered in on the business side of things. So just to get y'all up to speed, Cody Rhodes, the son of Dusty Rhodes, he was in the WWE for a while. He didn't really get that push that you would expect, and he kind of he blazed his own trail. Um, he was on the independent scene in Japan, made his way around, started his own. No, he didn't start. He spearheaded a different promotion, all elite wrestling, and shortly after he returned to WWE with his newest theme, and he's made a run. He's won 2 Royal Rumbles. The Royal Rumble is basically a battle royale. If you win that, you earn the right to compete for a championship. So the first time he won the Royal Rumble, he lost in the championship due to interference. And this past year, about 2 weeks ago, he won the Royal Rumble again, and he seeks to finish the story. But unfortunately, due to legal matters regarding Vince McMahon, the entire scope of the WWE shifted overnight, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson is now going to stand in and compete against Roman Reigns. So we think for the WWE Championship. Uh,
Dwayne, The Rock is competing.
yes, at least we think so.
Wait, what did Vince McMahon do? Wasn't he the owner?
Vince McMahon was alleged of a lot of inappropriate activity. He he stepped down, came back. He was a board advisor, and then when WWE was bought by TKO and all this Wahala came to the table, they were like, "Yeah, you gotta go," and so he did. The Rock is on the board of directors for TKO, so he he does things behind the scenes, he's bringing that money in, and now here he is fighting his cousin because he has some Samoan descent, so going up against Roman Reigns will be a very serious feud that will gross a lot of bread.
Where's that all taking place?
In Philly. And at least so we think. We haven't gotten the confirmation. There are reports that um this is all just pulling the wool over the eyes of Roman Reigns, and in actuality, Cody Rhodes is going to be the one competing, but I doubt that's gonna happen. But it's definitely something to keep an eye out on because I think it's crazy that the entire shift of the wrestling world kind of shifted overnight. I mean, the entire scope kind of shifted overnight. This will be a 2-day event on April 6th and 7th, April 6th and 7th in Philly.
Hmm. Okay, okay. Will you be in attendance?
No, but I might watch, but I
Okay.
won't be there.
Because what is this? Is this gonna be on Netflix now? Or
It's a good question. I think the Netflix deal doesn't kick in until 2025, but
mm,
might put it on Peacock or something.
okay, okay. All right, but all right. And before we close out, African Cup of Nations, the final, remember, February 11th, Super Bowl Sunday, is also African Cup of Nations Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern. Nigeria versus Ivory Coast. Dan, who are you rooting for?
You know where I'm from, right?
I know, but I don't know if the people know.
Okay, I am born and bred from 234. For those of you who don't know, that's 1001. For those of you who don't know that, that is the native land, the African giant, Nigeria, through and through. I bleed green. So we're gonna get it done. It's meant to be and it's going to happen. So don't be surprised when it does.
You know, the Ivory Coast took us down, us being Ghana a few years ago. And, you know, I know that our team isn't as good as it used to be, but I think it would be kind of like bittersweet for Ivory Coast to win at home. And I'm also a contrarian, so
Super contrarian.
hey, Ivory Coast, they won straight out. They won 1-0, 1-0. Y'all had to duke it out in PK, so I don't know. I don't know. We might see something interesting in this matchup. Um, but with that being said,
I have a little bit more breaking news. I'm gonna run through this real quick. I had the NFL honors, the NFL award recipients.
oh, it
Just
came out. Okay, all right, go
yes.
ahead.
So shout out to Lamar, two-time MVP, big trust.
Big trust.
The head chef in the Ghost Kitchen brings home another MVP. Now we gotta get that Lombardi next year. Offensive Player of the Year, Christian McCaffrey from the 49ers. You have Kevin Stefanski, Coach of the Year from the Cleveland Browns. You have Will Anderson Jr., Defensive Rookie of the Year. And you have Myles Garrett, Defensive Player of the Year. You have CJ Stroud, Almighty 7, Offensive Rookie of the Year. And you have, come on. Assistant Coach of the Year, Jim Shorts from the Browns, the defensive coordinator. And I don't have who won comeback player of the year, but I don't believe it was Damar Hamlin. I don't think it was. So yeah.
Okay. Hey, shout out Lamar. You know what the narrative is. 2 rings. You know what we need from you. We need an MVP.
Oh, Joe Flacco, comeback player of the year. Tied for the oldest player to win this award.
As he should, honestly. What would have been your thoughts if um DeMar Hamlin won?
I think he would have not accepted it knowing him. But
You think he would have not accepted it?
yeah, I'm glad they did the right thing. Give it to real Joe Shiesty.
Okay. You know. And all in all, I'm glad that we got to see these awards. We got the Super Bowl coming up. And before we close out, do you got anything?
No, man, salute. I know. I know. You gotta get out of here.
All right. As always, it's been Brian.
And then,
And also, yeah, if you aren't already, follow us on all platforms. Subscribe on YouTube. Check us out on Apple Podcast or Spotify if you're trying to get the audio only version. And also, we've been posting clips lately on all our short form platforms from YouTube Shorts, TikTok to Instagram Reels. So check us out there too. But we'll catch you guys next time. It's been Brian,
and then,
and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
take care. God bless.